što znači da se više nije moguće pridružiti događanju. Iz tog razloga molimo da tijekom skupštine ne napuštate događanje jer se više nećete moći vratiti. Predajem riječ predsjednici. Ružo, izvolite.
Hvala, Andrea. Thank you, Andrea. If you could just confirm that you can hear myself.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to take this opportunity to wish you all a warm welcome to AmCham's Annual General Assembly. I am particularly pleased and happy to see so many of you joining today, showing your support and contribution to the work of AmCham, which is especially valued and cherished in these challenging times. Also, I would like to extend my appreciation to the entire AmCham team, led by Andrea, on the organization of today's General Assembly as a virtual one. Not only today, but throughout the year, and despite all the external challenges, the team led by Andrea has done a wonderful job by keeping us connected and included in all AmCham's activities. A special thank you to my fellow board members for their ongoing support and contribution. Now, before we officially start, I would just like to give you a few instructions regarding participation. As Andrea mentioned, after the quorum is established, the meeting will be locked. So if you leave the meeting after this point, there will be no possibility to rejoin. If you have any questions during the assembly, you can either raise your hand or use the chat option to write your question. This event is being recorded. We shall start the assembly with the appointment of tellers. According to our Constitution, the General Assembly shall appoint a 3-member committee to determine attendance, whether the quorum is present, manage elections, and count all votes. AmCham employees may not serve as tellers. AmCham members may serve as tellers unless there is a conflict of interest in the outcome of any decision voted upon at the meeting. I invite members to volunteer for tellers by raising their hands. Thank you. We have appointed the committee of 3 members. Nada Burić from ION, Dan Špicer from Savez izviđača Hrvatske, and Marko Porobija from Odvjetničko društvo Porobija and Špoljarić. Written votes received by AmCham office in advance will now be sent to the committee to their email so they can include it in all voting counts. I would like to ask tellers to choose one of you to be your representative. All attendees are representatives of the AmCham member companies and are voting on behalf of their companies. Representative of tellers, please state the number of participating members, including those who sent written votes.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for electing me, Madam President. Present at the meeting are currently 54 AmCham members, plus additional, just a second, 40 who have submitted their votes in writing. This means that the quorum is constituted pursuant to Article 19.5 of the Constitution of the AmCham.
Thank you, Marko. Now that we have determined the quorum, I am officially opening the Annual General Assembly of the American Chamber of Commerce in Croatia. Before we start with the reports on the activities, we would like to test the polling feature to be sure that everybody will know how to participate in voting. You should now have on the right part of your WebEx screen the test question. If the question is not visible, please go to polling located at the bottom right corner of the screen, next to chat. It's accessible by clicking on the three dots. I hope we all tested. So before we start with detailed overview of AmCham activities, if you allow me, I would like to take the moment and give a short reflection on the year behind us. I'm sure that most of you will agree that being a part of AmCham in these times has more than ever emphasized that this is a place that gathers and connects, and a platform that enables our voices to be heard. Although we have worked and are still working at a time of unparalleled disruption and change, our spirit has never been stronger. While we faced many challenges this year, I am incredibly proud of all that we have accomplished. With 16 position papers issued, an additional 5 planned by the year end, tackling the topics from tax reform, Labor Act to recommendation for economic relief due to COVID-19, AmCham continued to represent the business interests of international as well as Croatian companies. I would like to emphasize the importance of all of the activities and events that we have organized, especially the ones with ministers from the Croatian government, as well as the meeting with the President of the Republic of Croatia, Mr. Zoran Milanovic, that showcase our strength and ability to direct attention to topics relevant to the business community. Moving part of our activities online, on the other hand, offered us a great opportunity to promote our members and better connect with other AmChams across Europe, which we did. I believe that in this year, more than ever before, we have embraced the opportunities presented by these difficult moments, and we have leveraged them to become wiser and more resilient. Although the COVID-19 pandemic has tested us in many ways, I'm proud of how we are continuing to honor our values and commitments during this time. These are the qualities that will help us push through this incredibly challenging chapter and propel us forward when we emerge on the other side of this crisis. Now, please allow me to invite Andrea to present more details on our activities. Thank you.
Dear all, welcome again. Thank you, Ruža. And allow me just to share some details on our activities starting with 2019. So as Ruža mentioned, we had several high-level events, as we usually do with Minister Bošnjaković, since judiciary is our focus for already several years. Also, our events related to FDIs, healthcare, breakfast with His Excellency Ambassador Kohorst. But as many of you remember, 2019 was a year just ahead of Croatian presidency. So we had also some events dedicated to these activities. We organized a meeting with Prime Minister Plenković and a delegation of AmCham EU here in Zagreb. And we also brought a delegation of our members to reception in Brussels with newly appointed Commissioner Šuica and also permanent representation of Croatia in the EU. That was the year also prior to coronavirus, and we were happy to organize also a delegation to US, as we usually do within our boardroom discussions program. So we visited San Francisco and Seattle, visited some startup companies, but also large companies, some of our members, some non-members, as for example, Amazon. Let me just upload the presentation again. policy events, also a very busy year for us. We had several policy accomplishments in 2019. So the start of double taxation initiative in collaboration with President's Office and U.S. Embassy, realization of card payments initiative, contribution to fourth circle of tax reform, and also participation with Ministry of Economy on the project of administrative unburdening. Heavy presentation, so I will have to go quickly through the slides. So in 2020, as we all know, it is a difficult year for all businesses. We had to respond to the needs of our members, and basically we nearly doubled our activities. We had several high-profile events, but also a large number of small webinars trying to answer key problems, key questions of our members. For example, how to keep the health standards, how to organize work from home, how to use government relief measures. Something that we are also proud of, we had several events related to tourism and a current situation with tourism, which we organized in cooperation with our fellow AmChams in the region. Also a great project with Kearney, impact of COVID-19 on Croatian economy. We produced a material which I think was very useful for many companies, but we also got confirmation that it was quite useful for government officials as well. We had a really well-attended Digital Croatia conference, several events related to COVID-19, the Future of Investing conference, but something I would also mention as something quite important, and it will come in a week, the event how Biden economic policy will impact the world. This is something which I highly recommend. We will have high positioned guests from the Hill and the opportunity for interactive discussion. Also in this year, we had Harvard Business Review Press as something new in our programs. Certainly, we would like to proceed with that next year as well. Just to give you an overview of activities, so this is the dynamics of our activities through the year. As you can see, more than 100 activities, events, let's call it not just activities, but events through this year. Most of them policy related, either addressing Croatian government with some topics highly on priority list of the businesses, or knowledge sharing events discussing current regulation and how to apply it. Concerning 2020 policy activities, as you can see, also extremely busy year. I'm really grateful to our committees who really took the advantage of technology and met so many times. You will see the numbers later on. They have produced 16 position papers with recommendations to the government, from tourism, recommendations for tax reform, judiciary improvements, collection of receivables, treatment outcomes registries, and something that was also very important for us, 3 sets of recommendations for economic relief, which was actually AmCham's contribution to the current situation. I would like to thank our members from consultancy and consultancy and financial management who really supported our activities during that period to really great extent. Still in the pipeline, 5 position papers planned until the end of the year: e-health, investment conclusions from the Future of Investing conference, SHREM's recommendations, EU funds for cloud solutions, e-mobility act. As you can see, really very busy year concerning media cooperation. The highest number of press cuts, press releases, and media contributions that we had through the past several years. Concerning AmCham activities in 2021, we plan to continue with similar dynamics. Of course, high-level activities like already planned lunches focus on breakfast. We expect probably a new US ambassador next year. As you know, Ambassador Kohorst, his post will expire in January. Also, we plan to host President Milanovic, and FDI is always a very important topic for us. Some seminars are already on our schedule, so Minister Malenica confirmed that he will be our guest on a virtual breakfast focused on judiciary topics, our recommendations for judiciary improvements, as well as our recommendations for collection of receivables. We do plan to continue with conferences, digital economy, healthcare, e-mobility, and our usual activities as well. Something that we would like to continue with is Harvard Business Review Press. This is something that proved to be very valuable to be offered to our members, but this is something that we still need to continue to negotiate. And also, of course, we do plan to start the year with virtual events and hopefully to open with spring and summer to live events. Thank you. These were the details on the activities.
Thank you, Andrea. I would now ask you to vote for the approval of presented activities and reports on the following window on your WebEx interface. You will have 3 minutes to complete each question. Representative of tellers, please state the voting results, including votes received in advance. So I hope we have all votes. I would kindly ask the representative of sellers to please state the voting results, including votes received in advance.
Okay. So, according to this, total number of 89 members voted for approval of 2019 activity report. This includes online votes and the votes that were previously received in writing.
Thank you, Marco. Andrea, I would kindly ask you now to present us the financial report for 2020 and a plan for 2021. Thank you.
Ruža, I think we will have to vote for a plan for 2021. So the activity report approval for 2021 will be now open for voting.
Thank you, Andrea.
There is approximately 1 minute still remains for voting. Please vote.
So, Marco, would you kindly state the voting results, including the votes received in advance? Thank you.
Madam President, total number of 88 members voted for approval of 2021 activity plan. This includes online votes, yes, and votes received in writing.
Thank you, Marco, and thank you all. Andrea, I learned there is one more voting we are having, so I would kindly ask you to introduce it.
We have covered now the voting for activities. Now I think it's the time to take a closer look to our financial reports.
Yes, please, Andrea, present to us, please, the financial report for 2020 and the plan for 2021. Thank you.
Okay. So, in very short, 2019 was really a great year for AmCham. We had very nice growth concerning membership as well. We exceeded our financial plans. This year, due to COVID crisis, we managed to end also well. We decreased our internal costs and also intensified policy and knowledge sharing activities among members. Basically, we plan to end this year with a surplus as well, which will be added to reserves. Plan for next year is focused on further member support, membership retention due to still expected effects of COVID-19 crisis. So maybe a closer look first to 2019. The plan was 3.6 million kuna. We ended the year with nearly 3.9, so 7% above the plan, slightly below the plan concerning expenses, so it brought us to surplus of nearly 300,000 kuna. Concerning income structure, usually membership and events are somewhere close to 80-20 ratio. During this year, and due to several really high-level events, especially related to EU presidency, we managed to have higher income related to sponsorships. So basically, membership revenues 71%, events 27%, advertising 2%. Concerning expenses, similar to previous years, so more or less stable personnel, 53%, office 28%, events policy 17%. In 2019, we also employed additional person, but financial impact is still not so much visible in 2019. Concerning membership structure, we planned 11 net adds. However, we achieved 21, and this was already the effect of additional person hired to support our membership acquisition and retention activities. Our churn was slightly below the plan, higher acquisition, and we ended up the year with 252 members, and we had fourth highest membership growth rate in AmCham's in Europe network. If we take a closer look to income structure in this year and plan for next year, basically income in this year was 14% lower than planned, so we planned approximately 4 million kunas. It was, of course, slightly below that. 5% lower membership income, and 43% lower income related to events, since we didn't have so many live events as we planned. Also, AmCham plans modest net membership growth through the next year, not because we are not ambitious concerning acquisition, but we anticipate that we will have pressure on membership retention, especially in small business segment. Concerning expenses, so we have slightly higher impact of personnel. This was because we, in a previous year, had We acquired additional team member. Impact is expected to decrease with the growth of our membership base, and you will see that it basically will develop in that way. Concerning expenses, we had a cut of 20% compared to the plan. Personnel-related expenses were cut by 9%, office 13, promotions 42, publications 25, and event expenses 69. So in the next year, we expect similar situation, but slightly higher event-related costs, since we hope to be back with live events more than we were in this year. Concerning projection, in short, projection for this year is a surplus of approximately 300,000 kunas. Plan was 20. Plan for next year is 28. So revenues on a similar level, expenses slightly higher, because we plan to start live events with May and July, June, which will increase our operational costs. How it looks concerning the longer time scale. So as you can see, 2019 was really a great year. We hope to be back to these numbers maybe in 2022. But right now we are somewhere at the level of 2018. And this year we are adding 300,000 kunas to reserves that already exist from the previous years. Concerning membership structure, we are ending the year with 258 members. The good news that today we got announcement of additional company that are interested to join in this year. So the actual might be even a bit higher. Next year, actually very close to that number. We plan to be ambitious in acquisition, but as I mentioned, we anticipate pressure concerning retention in small businesses. Right now, AmCham represents 258 companies, which employ 91,000 people in Croatia. So from that number, you can see that high number or high portion of our membership are large companies. Also, how our acquisition process looks like through the years. As you can see, slightly higher numbers through the past several years. And concerning cancellations, unfortunately this year a bit higher than we planned, and we also plan slightly higher next year, but still on a much lower level than we had during the last crisis, 2007, 8, 9. This is our cumulative membership base, so it's still growing nicely. Major share in our membership structure make our patron and corporate members. Also, something I would like to present is the retention rate. So in 2019, we had the average retention rate among European AmChams was 90.8%. At that moment, we had 92. In this year, it will be 90%. Next year, we might be slightly below 90%, but still our ambition is to be much higher than during the last crisis. Also, something I hope it will be interesting for you to see are satisfaction survey results. So you can see the results through the past several years. These questions are part of our business climate survey that we usually have somewhere in mid-December. We will have it also this year. what looks really nice, and thank you for your trust, is that these numbers are increasing through the years, and I hope we will see a similar increase in the results this year as well. But we are aware that there is still a room for improvement, and we will definitely work on that. Before we start voting on financial results, allow me just a minute to thank all of you for your contributions, your cooperation in these really challenging times. We are happy to see that membership engagement really increased through the year. We have more participation in events, publications, committee work, knowledge sharing. Financial stability is also something very important to us. As you know, AmCham is not eligible for any kind of government support. So I would like to thank our patron members who make 20% of our members, but actually contribute 38% to our membership revenues, and it really means a lot to us. Also, big thanks to all sponsors who supported us through the year. It was also very important for us. I will mention just some of them: MSD, AbbVie, Oracle, Pliva, Raiffeisen Bank, Novo Nordisk, and all others. Thank you very much. Also, my thanks go to board members and for their support and dedication to our work. Allow me just to thank Ljubiša Mitov-Višurski and Davor Premac, whose term is ending, for their hard work and support through the years that they participated in our work through the board member role. And also, thanks goes to my team members. Thank you very much, Marina, Mirela, Dražen, Jelena, Jasna, Svetlana. Thank you.
So, thank you, Andrea. And I would now ask you to vote for the approval of the presented financial reports on the polling window on your WebEx interface. You will have 3 minutes, as we already found out, to complete each question. And then, representative of the tellers, please state the voting results after these 3 minutes, including the votes received in advance. Thank you. There is 1 more minute left for voting, so please place your votes in the poll. Representative of tellers, please state the voting results, including the votes received in advance.
Thank you, Madam President. So, total number of 91 members voted for approval of financial report for 2019.
Thank you very much. Now we will have a voting for the financial plan for 2021. So I would now ask you to vote for the approval of the plan for next year. Again, using the same tool on the polling window on your WebEx interface. Again, the 3 minutes available for the voting. Thank you. We have 1 more minute left to the voting slot. Thank you very much. So I believe the 3 minutes have passed and we shall have the vote. So representative of the tellers, please state the voting results, including the votes received in advance.
Thank you, Madam President. So, total number of 88 members voted for approval of financial plan for 2021. That includes online votes and votes issued in writing.
Thank you very much. So, according to our constitution, any conflicts of interest between AmCham members and breaches of the constitution shall be resolved by a decision of an arbitration committee, which consists of the arbiters selected from AmCham members. The General Assembly has to adopt a list of arbiters each year, so we have offered all members to express interest to be included on such list. Please vote on the polling window on your WebEx interface. Again, you will have 3 minutes to complete the question and place your vote. So we have 1 more minute for voting, so kindly place your votes. Representative of tellers, please state the voting results, including votes received in advance.
Thank you, Madam President. So, total number of 88 members voted for list of arbiters. That includes online votes and votes issued in writing.
Thank you very much. So with that, we have confirmed the list of arbiters, as well as our financial plans for 2021. Please allow me to go to the next section, which is related to the changes in the Constitution. Due to the new circumstances of virtual work, it is necessary to amend AmCham Constitution to allow for the future virtual assembly as needed. Therefore, the Board of Governors proposes the following change of the Constitution. 2 new articles to be added. The first one, in case of justified reasons, the Board of Governors may decide to hold the Annual General Assembly virtually through one of the online meeting platforms. And the second one, the Board of Governors may decide that in a live session of the Assembly, members may also participate through one of the online meeting platforms. The attendance notification deadline and the manner of participation will be prescribed in the decision of the Board, in accordance with the technical possibilities and conditions. I would kindly ask you to vote on the polling window on your WebEx interface. Again, you will have 3 minutes to complete the questions. 1 more minute left to complete the voting on the changes to the AmCham Constitution. Thank you. I would kindly ask the teller representatives to tell us the results of the voting for the changes on the AmCham Constitution.
Thank you, Madam President. Total number of 90 members voted for Constitution change, so including online votes and votes issued in written.
Thank you very much. So now the next section is the election for the Board of Governors positions. 3 board positions are open for elections, and I invite nominated candidates to briefly present themselves. After each candidate presents himself or herself, I will invite you to vote for the candidate on the polling window on your WebEx interface. You will again have 3 minutes for each voting for every candidate. The first one is Mr. John Boshparac. So John, please present yourself. Thank you. Let's allow it a few minutes for John to start his presentation.
Hi, everybody. John Boshparac here. I thought there was a video to be presented, but fair enough. As you may know, I'm the country managing partner for PwC Croatia, and I think that when you look at PwC Croatia and PwC generally and AmCham, I think we have a lot of common goals in mind. Many of them have been even mentioned earlier. It's bringing greater FDI to Croatia. We want to also reverse the brain drain, bring people back to Croatia, bring more people, even that have not left, but people are in the diaspora back to Croatia, all through some sort of investment, work opportunities and such, and to make Croatia a greater platform for the economy and for everybody who's living here to have a better position going forward. We think the time is absolutely now, especially during COVID and post-COVID. There are opportunities here through the transformation efforts going on across all parts of the economy. And I think that putting our networks together, we have a vast network in Croatia. I've been here over 20 years myself, building my own personal network in addition to the network with PwC. And I think putting that network to use together with our resources from PwC to assist AmCham to make that greater impact going forward in the future is really what the synergy is here and what I think is a great possibility for us in the future. I thank you for the opportunity, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, John. So I would kindly ask the participants to vote on your polling tool in your WebEx. Again, we have 3 minutes available for voting. One more minute left to vote for the candidate. Thank you. So I would kindly ask the representative of the tellers to let us know what are the voting results.
Thank you, Madam President. So we have a total number of 88 members voted for the appointment of Mr. Gasparac. That includes online votes and votes issued in writing.
Thank you very much, and congratulations, Mr. Gasparac. The second position we are voting is the second vice president position. Unfortunately, Rina could not stay with us due to other urgent obligations she had for today. Instead of her presenting herself, we will show a short video that I would like to ask the team to play now. So thank you, Rina. After completion of voting, I would kindly ask the representative of the tellers to tell us the results. But now we have this 3 minutes voting slot, and I would kindly ask you to place your vote. We have 1 more minute left for the voting for the second vice president. Thank you. So I would kindly ask Marco, our representative of the tellers, to let us know what are the voting results.
Thank you, Madam President. So, total number of 84 members voted for the appointment of Ms. Music.
Thank you very much, Marco. And our last candidate is Mr. Bojan Poličak. Bojan, kindly, I would kindly ask you to present yourself. Thank you.
So good afternoon. I hope you can see me and hear me. It seems okay on my laptop. Okay, good. So my name is Bojan Poličak. I'm a country manager for AmCham in Croatia. AmCham is the Swiss IT company, and we opened as a greenfield investment a center for software development a bit more than 2 years ago. Previously, I was also working 10 years in Xerox, management positions in Croatia and Central Eastern Europe, and I was also country manager for Adecco, which is the globally biggest company for HR services, headhunting, and so on. I just realized when I nominated myself for this position that actually I have been the member of AmCham for about 15 years with 3 different companies. And recently I was mostly active in the 2 committees, trade and investment for almost 10 years, and now the digital economy committee. I have actually written 2 position papers on investments and participated in a number of the others, also on conferences about investments, AmCham talents, and so on. Why have I been so active in AmCham? I do really believe from my experience that AmCham is the biggest and the best actually industrial chamber in Croatia. 3 main reasons for that is that members of the AmCham excellent executive team, and I think we really by far are the best in preparing and working on the policy work and the very concrete and realistic proposals for improving business environment in Croatia. Joining the board, I believe I can bring this 20 plus years of international business experience. I would also like to bring the IT technology view to the board. It is becoming more and more important that not just as a businesses, but as the economy in Croatia, we follow the trends and develop in this area. And I think also that we are the best organization place to work. And here I would like to, contribute to work really on speeding up Croatian economic growth, integrating in EU, bringing more investments to Croatia, and working especially for the growth and benefit of a healthy private sector in Croatia. I thank you for your support in supporting me to join the board. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bojan. So I would kindly invite you now to place your votes in the polling tool on your WebEx over the course of the next 3 minutes. Thank you very much. One more minute left for voting. Thank you. Thank you. So I would kindly ask Marco, our Talos representative, to communicate the voting results to us?
Thank you, Madam President. So total number of 82 members voted for the appointment of Mr. Poljičak.
Thank you very much, Marko. So according to voting results, it is my pleasure to announce our new board members, Mrs. Irina Music, Mr. John Gašparac, and Mr. Bojan Poljičak. Congratulations and welcome aboard. So now I would kindly invite you to ask any additional questions that you might have or any comments that you could have for us. We will be readily taking any questions if that, or any inputs, any reflection or comment. So if there are no further topics for discussion, then I am officially closing the General Assembly of the American Chamber of Commerce of Croatia. Thank you very much for your participation, your support. Wishing you a very nice evening, a great closing of the year, good health, stay safe, and we're going to stay close to you. Thank you very much. A big thank you to Andrea and the whole team for organizing once again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ruža.